Hello and welcome back to Far from the Truth,
Oh,
episode 5.
yeah.
How are you, Josh? How's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Yeah, I'm not too bad. It's been a busy week.
Yeah.
Obviously lots of football, Champions League, Premier League, etc.
Feels like a while ago since we last did one of these, to be fair, because so much has
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah. Obviously we are recording this, I guess, a day late as well. So
Yeah.
um,
Life
yeah,
happens. Doesn't
life does happen. Yeah, but yeah,
it?
yeah, I'm good, man. You?
Yeah, man, not too bad, bro. Busy as well, but yeah. Yeah, so mate, like loads has happened. Like we've had the return of the Champions League, which
Mm-hmm.
is obviously quite we have some cracking games, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
Busy Premier League week. Obviously something that happened in the VAR from the truth world. We had a bit of a clip on TikTok get quite a few reactions. I
Yeah.
thought it might actually be funny to read a few of the comments out today
Okay. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we had some funny ones, didn't we? A few
No.
Liverpool fans weren't too happy with our
Nah.
opinions.
Nah, they weren't. Well, most definitely they weren't happy with you anyway.
Yeah, they weren't happy. You were calm. You were calm. It was me that took the brunt of it. But yeah, mate. So this week we'll go over the Premier League results last week.
Mm-hmm.
What we thought of the big games, Champions League as well,
Yeah.
and we got. I know you got something you want to say about Chelsea later on as
Hmm.
well. So
Yeah, I do
we'll
indeed. Yeah.
we'll have to see. So, bro, yeah, let's start with the Merseyside derby. What did you think of that?
Firstly, the first thing I thought was, how was there only 3 minutes added time at the end? If it was Liverpool losing 2-1, I'm sure it would have been plus 12 minutes. And look, this is not a thing against Liverpool or like it is what it is. But
I think that's the first time I've seen 3 minutes added on
yeah,
in years.
and like it wasn't like nothing happened in that half. Like there was substitutions, there was yellow cards. So like there was more stoppages than 3 minutes. And
Yeah,
like Everton players were getting booked for taking quick free kicks. Like it was just a bit weird. Like I'm not saying that's why Liverpool won. Like they were the better team.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, I want to say that Ryan Gravenberch,
oof.
that first goal was. Do you know
Mm,
what goal? Do you know what it reminded me of? Do you remember when Ronaldo came to Anfield and James
yeah,
Rodriguez played that little like
yeah.
ball over
Like
the
dinked
top,
it.
and then Ronaldo just kind of like put his foot around it, and it was just a
Yeah,
lovely little volley. It really reminded me of that goal,
yeah,
and
yeah.
what a season he's having.
Insane, mate. Absolutely insane, honestly. Obviously you got the assist for the second goal as well, I think.
Yeah, I think he did,
Um
and I think he got an assist in the Champions League as well to
mm,
Mo Salah as well. But
yeah. He's been incredible, mate, and he is like probably the first name on the team sheet at the moment.
yeah, and he's been man of the match in quite a few of these games. Like he's been
Mm,
boss in the midfield. He seems like he's full of energy. He's got that. He beats the press. I think Liverpool released like a highlight clip as
mm,
well where I think in the Burnley game, and he did some insane skills to get away from his man. But he's looking top quality, to be fair.
yeah. Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a baller for sure. I think Everton, yeah, they didn't do enough to try and like win the game.
yeah.
Especially in the first half. Like the second half they played a bit better, so they got a goal back.
They played terribly. It was the first half that they did all right in the second
Yeah,
half. Or
yeah. They lost the game in the first half, of course.
yeah, and
Um,
that's the thing with Liverpool. You do have to be perfect. You can't give those
yeah,
attackers an inch really because they will make you pay. And Ekatike on the score sheet again. He's an insane start as well.
yeah, yeah. Everyone thought he's going to take a while to settle in, and he's just hit the ground running.
Yeah,
It's just fair play to him, man. Fair play.
yeah. I actually want to ask you a question.
Mm,
If Ekatike keeps going at this rate, has Isak got some competition?
yeah,
I mean, obviously, I think the standout the team sheet was Ekatike, Isak was on the bench, and Florian
mm,
Wirtz was also on the bench. So they had like £250 million
yeah,
worth of talent on the bench there. But the
Yeah.
way TK's going, where does Isak fit in? Because
Mm.
obviously we know he's a quality player, but
It's almost like if Ekatike keeps scoring, like you almost can't leave him out.
you can't.
So
He's a fan
apologies.
favorite as well.
Yeah, apologies by the way. Like, if there's any like extra noise, I'm sat in my car at the moment. So, but yeah, honestly, like if he does keep going that way, like unless Isak maybe plays on the left, or if they put Ekatike to the left, maybe. But I don't know how happy Ekatike might be about that if he's banging in the goals.
Yeah, it's not a bad problem to have if you're Arnie Slot,
No.
having two top quality strikers,
Mm,
fighting for that number 9 spot at your club. Not bad.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I just wanted to get on to Brighton Tottenham.
Mm.
It was Brighton with another big performance at home against a top 6 side.
Yeah, yeah, and they were unfortunate really not to come away with 3 points, I think.
Yeah, they played really well, and they seemed to. Yeah, sorry, bro.
Yeah, no, yeah, yeah, unfortunate not to come away with the 3 points, but yeah, like you say, they did play really well. And I just think obviously that maybe they're obviously lacking that extra bit to sort of to be consistent against the big teams. Obviously, like we've seen them beat Man City, but
Yeah.
then like the week after they'll draw, and then obviously they drew this week against
Mm.
Tottenham. Good Tottenham team. But I mean, they are a very good team, Brighton.
They are. Are you impressed with Tottenham's start?
Um,
10 points.
Mate, yeah, it's miles and leagues above last season. With Ange. I mean, I remember in Ange's first season, he actually got quite a good start. I think. They were like top of the league for a little while,
Yeah, they
and
were they were flying, weren't they? They were.
yeah. But I think with this one, it's more sustainable. Like the football they're playing.
Yeah,
Um,
they seem solid defensively. They seem hard to
yeah,
beat. They've added some quality. Like I know,
yeah,
I heard Xavi Simons had quite a good game, uh,
mm,
and Kudus is obviously there as well. So they've added a bit. They've added the
yeah,
quality that they needed and replaced Son. So
yeah, yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
they're looking good. But talking about Ange Postecoglou, uh, that is 3 games in charge for him now. Obviously, lost to Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's out the English League Cup as well. I think that was
Swansea, yeah,
Swansea had a comeback.
yeah.
Now he drew 1-1 with Burnley.
Mm. Honestly, it's I mean, Nottingham Forest fans, are probably fuming if for lack of a better word. They
Yeah,
probably didn't want Nuno to go. I don't know if there was any section of the fans that wanted Nuno to go. I'm not sure, but most of them probably didn't want Nuno to go. Marinakis has sacked him and brought in Ange, and that's 3 losses on the spin. And mate, if I was a Forest fan, I'd be absolutely fuming,
yeah.
absolutely fuming.
I mean, it's two opposite managers as well, isn't it?
Mm, yeah.
Like because Ange is so attacking,
Mm,
isn't he? And then you've got someone like Nuno, who was so solid defensively.
yeah.
And he built his team around being hard to break down, and Ange's got a completely different philosophy on that. So
Mm,
it's going to be interesting for Forest because they did so well last season. It seems crazy to me. It seems like they need to get the cameras in there and
yeah.
film a bit of a reality TV show, see what's going on behind the scenes. To be fair, I think that would be a
Fair enough.
good watch.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, like I think the one good thing that potentially might be good for them and for Villa, because Villa are struggling, and we'll come on to that. But with
Yeah,
them two being in the Europa League, and with no teams being able to drop down from the Champions League, the competition, as we saw last season with United and Tottenham getting to the final, and obviously Chelsea getting to the final of the Conference League, like the competition is probably there or thereabouts for them to
yeah,
try and go a long way. So that might be their best bet rather than the league. So
yeah, 100%. I like that no one can drop down from the Champions
mm,
League because I
yeah,
feel you have your opportunity to win. You're in the Champions League. If you don't do well, why should you get an opportunity to stay in Europe?
Yeah.
And I think it gives the teams a chance that qualified for the Europa and the Conference League.
Mm.
It makes more sense to me,
Yeah.
and we're going to get a wider variety of winners as well. And I think
Yeah.
that's good for football, really.
Absolutely, for
Like
sure.
for example, Tottenham.
Yeah, Tottenham. Obviously, we've had West Ham, we've had Roma,
Yeah.
Olympiacos. Like, it's good. Yeah, it's good for
Good,
football.
really good. And then let's touch on a bit on the relegation battle because I mean
Mate, are Wolves still bottom?
Wolves are still bottom. They haven't won a game, and I don't think, and West Ham as well. They lost again to Palace.
Yeah.
I know that's they were both two of our picks to potentially go down this season. So um, yeah, let me just get the table up. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Wolves no points, only team that have lost every single game.
Jeez.
And then you've got West Ham. They've conceded minus 8 goal difference.
Mm.
And then you've got surprise package Aston Villa, who obviously um, drew the day after.
Yeah, to Sunderland. Yeah,
Yeah.
got their first goal. Bear
Yeah.
in mind, yeah, they got their first goal, so that's obviously a slight bright spot for them.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, digging off here.
Nah,
There we go.
you're all right, mate. All
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, so they got their first goal, but yeah, not it's not looking good for Emery. I don't know what's going on
No,
there, to be honest. I really don't
strange,
know.
isn't it? We'll have to see if he can get it right. We'll have to see if he can get it right.
Mm,
Then, bro, I want to talk about probably one of the craziest games we've seen all season in terms of crazy decision making by players, people getting sent off.
mm.
So we had Man United Chelsea,
Yeah,
and Man United got the win there, 2-1.
yep,
Terrible decision making from Sanchez in the first few minutes of the game. I thought
yeah,
Man United came out really bright, though, to be fair to them.
yeah,
A
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of talk about, they were down to 10 men, but United put them in that position.
Mm,
It was a
yeah,
lovely little flick on by Sesko, and Mbumo obviously ran through and probably would have scored if Sanchez hadn't taken him out.
yeah,
Obviously, you take a goal being a goal down instead of being down to 10 men every day of the week in that
yeah,
situation.
yeah, for sure.
But they played
Absolutely.
really well and they keep playing well at home, and it was a good performance from United. And then when it looked like Chelsea were in for a hiding,
Mm.
good old Casemiro had to throw a spanner in the works, didn't he? What was he thinking?
Mate, it's never straightforward for United, honestly, I swear. Like, it's literally never
Never. Which
straightforward.
one would you be more mad at as a fan? Obviously, like the fact that you're a man up, you're 2-0
Mm,
up,
mm,
you've got the advantage, it's just before half time, and
mm,
you make a rash tackle like that to get yourself sent off. Are you more annoyed at Casemiro, or would you be more annoyed at Sanchez?
mm.
Like, which one's worse is what I'm trying to say.
I think the Casemiro one,
Yeah.
because there's, like you say, you're 2-0 up, you're already on a yellow card. Like,
You're
there's,
experienced as well. You played in the
yeah,
biggest games there is.
and like, mate, mate, there's no need for him to be making that stupid challenge.
Oh,
Like, let the ball run. Like, he's not in your box. Like, he's
no,
literally
it was
just
in
gone
mid
past
the
the
halfway.
halfway line. Yeah,
And
mate,
even if they get a goal back, you've got another man.
and like, mate, the funniest thing, so I was watching it, and like, obviously, when he got sent off, he looked bare surprised, and then like he's walking off, he was like shaking his head and that. He kept shaking his head all the way down the tunnel. I just started laughing. I was like,
Yeah.
what can you expect? Like, you've given the referee an option to give you that second yellow, and like, I thought, part of me thought, is it like, I initially said as soon as I seen it, I was like, is it a bit harsh? Because he has won the ball, but obviously he's grabbed a player, etc. So I thought it's a little bit harsh, maybe, but you've given the referee the option. Whilst
Yeah.
being 2-0 up and on a yellow card, like,
And you're on a yellow card.
that is just
I
absolutely
maybe
bonkers.
understand it if he hadn't been booked. I understand
Yeah,
why he makes
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
challenge.
yeah.
But player of that, and mate, at that point, I thought, what's going to happen?
Mm, mm,
Because Chelsea have been good this season. I do want to touch on Maresca's substitutions. I want to know what your thoughts on that, because I mean he took off Esteval, Palmer,
mm.
Pedro,
Neto, yeah, yeah.
Pedro Neto as soon as they went down to 10 men, and it kind of
I thought it was a bit bizarre, mate.
it was bizarre, right? I can
Yeah.
understand him taking off Esteval and leaving Neto, Palmer,
Mm,
because you've got the whole 90 minutes to play and you've got to have
yeah,
some attacking threat. And I felt they only had João Pedro up front, really,
mate,
and
and
they
he was,
had no way out.
yeah, and obviously he was then feeding off scraps.
Yeah,
And yeah, like I spoke to a couple of my Chelsea mates, and like they literally said pretty much that Maresco lost them that game. To be honest,
yeah, it was
like
power.
they didn't even like. You're already down to 10 men, and like you go 1-0 down, you might as well go for it. And like you could lose 3-0 maybe, but if you go for it, you might nick a point. Do you know what I mean? So uh, it's difficult. Yeah, I think apparently Palmer had a knock, so that's why he came off. But like to take Esteval, Palmer, and Neto off, like I thought it was a bit weird.
And he kind of shot himself in the foot, really, because it then went down to it was a 10v10 in the second half.
Mm, mm,
And if you have Palmer, Esteval or Neto on the pitch,
yeah,
you know,
and the game opens up a bit, and
the game opened up, and they were pushing Chelsea. I think Man United did a really good job in that second half because they kept the
mm,
intensity up and they closed the game out and defended really well and even attacked really well as well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, no, they did, yeah, for sure,
they deserved the win, and I think United should get credit for that, and so should Amnarim. Even
yeah,
though, and I mean Maresca in my eyes is definitely partly to blame.
mm, yeah, for
For
sure,
his subs.
absolutely,
Um, But moving on, bro, we had Fulham Brentford, the late kickoff. That was a nice little win for Fulham at home.
yeah,
Um, Fulham looking decent this year. Not made many signings, but
mm,
kept potential players that they had from last season. And
mm,
you know, that I know you don't like Alex Iwobi much, but I do think he's a player. He's grown a lot since he left Arsenal, and
yeah,
he seems to want the ball all the time.
mm,
Like, never shies away from the ball. Um, and yeah, he's a good player, Iwobi, I think.
yeah. Maybe I'm holding on to a little bit of grudge from.
Resent from
Yeah, I think it was more so like he was at Arsenal during that really toxic
yeah,
period under sort of like Emery, late Wenger, etc. So maybe I'm sort of holding on to that, and I just didn't really see much of a player back then. But you can't deny sort of what you're seeing at the moment.
yeah,
I know a lot of people that had him in their fantasy are pretty happy with him. So,
yeah,
um, and again, another good win for Fulham. I think they'll be there or thereabouts, pushing for a Conference League place maybe.
yeah. Where are Fulham? They're in eighth at the moment with 8 points. Not
Mm.
bad. Not bad
Yeah.
start. One more point than yeah. Not a bad start from them at
Mm.
all. Which leads us on to Sunday's games. So first, the early kickoffs were at Bournemouth against Newcastle, 0-0 draw.
Yeah. Pretty stale game to be honest.
I mean,
Both
Newcastle
teams. Go on, yeah.
6 points start the.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's not great. It's not great for them so far. Obviously they lost in
they just
midweek.
seem to be struggling for goals, don't they?
Yeah, obviously Wiss is out. Wiss is still out.
Be interesting to
Injury.
see how he does when he's back.
Yeah, yeah, it will be. Obviously, he's not going to get much time because obviously, I think he's going to the Africa Cup of Nations.
Yeah, when's that
Um,
start, by the way?
I want to say January, bro. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say January. So yeah, obviously it'd be interesting to see what he's like when he plays. Obviously Walter Milder's still getting used to everything, etc. Probably still getting his minutes up. But I just think when you've got Gordon up top, like I think he's a good player. I think he is a good player. He's decent. He'll get you the odd goal, but he's not a striker.
No, he's
He
a
is.
wi- his best.
Yeah, he's a direct winger, mate. He's a direct winger. Um,
Yeah, agreed.
so I feel a little bit sorry for him seeing him play up there sometimes. Like I watched a game in midweek against Barcelona, and
Mm.
uh,
He started up top, didn't he?
yeah, and like Elanga whipped across in, and he sort of like miskicked it.
Yeah,
And
Elanga
like
had a hell of a
yeah,
game, didn't he? He played really well.
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Mm.
And then Sunderland Villa 1-1. Villa
Yep.
scored their first goal of the season.
And then
Matty Cash as well with that one.
yeah, yeah. Out of all the players, you wouldn't have probably thought it was him.
Yeah.
And
But I will say that Sunderland did go down to 10 men pretty early on in that game,
yeah,
33rd minute.
yeah,
Um, so you'd expect Villa to win that game
mm,
with Sunderland down to 10. But,
yeah.
I mean, Sunderland have showed some grit, haven't they? Started well, won a few games, got some results, and obviously
Hmm.
fighting back there to draw 1-1 with Aston Villa.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Especially like you say, down to 10 men. Again, I think it might be that sort of stadium light effect. They were at home, weren't they? I think.
yeah, Stadium of Light at home.
Yeah, yeah. So that sort of effect maybe on that game. But again, another priceless point, mate. It's a priceless point for them.
Yeah.
And they'll be going into their next games thinking,
Yeah, every point, I suppose, is closer to safety for them.
absolutely, mate, absolutely. And I think genuinely this season that one, if not two, of the promoted sides are probably going to stay up this season.
I
Just for what we've seen from a couple of the other teams in the league, and obviously it's a long way to go. But if they can keep up how they're playing, I think a couple of them are going to stay up, mate.
hope so. Hope so. And
Mm.
obviously, one game I'm really looking forward to with Sunderland is the Newcastle when they play Newcastle.
Yeah,
Because that is a hell of a derby, isn't it? And we know what St James's Park can get like when those fans are amped up.
yeah,
And the Stadium of Light can get like as well. So it's always good to have another
yeah,
big derby in the Prem,
for sure.
and that's one of the biggest rivalries there is really in
Yeah,
football because they're very
yeah.
passionate fans. So I'm looking forward to seeing some fireworks. Do you remember when was it Gianfranco Zola was Sunderland manager, uh,
Mm.
and he
Yeah,
like stood on his knees and
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I always remember that moment. It was quality.
Just, and I think one thing I remember from that game, not that game, but that derby is I don't know if you remember when Jermaine Defoe scored that volley. Um,
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was mad.
what all
Absolutely,
that?
yeah, trust. So yeah, yeah, it was pretty good to be fair. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure, bro. And then finally, Arsenal Man City. Talk to
Mm.
me.
Oof. Um,
First
game of two.
off, how did you feel about Arsenal's lineup?
I wasn't happy. Um, yeah, I wasn't happy with it, to be honest. I thought they could have gone for it at home a bit more. Um, yeah.
So you weren't happy with Marino playing in
N-
midfield?
No, no. Ideally, I wanted what's his name? I wanted Eze in. Sorry,
Yeah,
I think there might be a traffic warden coming to give me a ticket in a minute. I might have to move.
bro's going to be podcasting and driving.
I'm paying fines.
Yeah, trust.
Trust.
That
You might have
that
to,
will that
you
will
might
have to be a company cost.
yeah. Are we able to pause this?
Um,
Just so I can move it.
no,
Can it pause?
just
Sorry.
just put it down and I'll keep talking and
Yeah?
then just join back up.
Alright, cool.
Sound?
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, one sec.
It's it's never a boring episode. Far from the
No.
truth. Obviously, Josh almost getting a parking ticket. But yeah, I wanted to talk about the Arsenal starting lineup, and I know a lot of Arsenal fans were very shocked by the starting lineup with Mikel Merino starting in there again. And then the real shock was probably Eze not starting on the wing um, instead of and Trossard. That
Yeah.
that
No,
was really
absolutely.
that was shocking. Um, I certainly didn't expect to see Trossard's name on the team sheet. I kind of thought, okay, with Erdegaard out, he probably would go Merino, uh, and then put Eze on the wing. But
Yeah.
out he went for both of them. And the first thing that I felt when I saw that starting lineup was the lack of pace.
Mm.
Because Man City, what do they struggle against? Balls in behind and pace. And Trossard's not the type of player that runs in behind. He's 2 feet, jinky runs, likes playing little 1-2s, creating a little something, and getting a nice little finish.
Yeah.
Um, but he doesn't exploit Man City's weaknesses, does he?
No, no, I think yeah, just touching on the Trossard thing, like he made a couple of like good moves, but then he didn't have that burst of pace to like get past the man and like stay past him.
Mm.
Like he was always going to get caught up by Kusanov. Um,
Yeah,
so
Kusanov's quite quick, isn't he?
yeah, yeah, no, he is. So yeah, it was tough to be fair. Like, I think it's one of them where Eze was definitely the choice to start either in the midfield or out wide. And I think it was a game of two halves, mate. It was definitely a game of two halves.
Yeah.
I, one thing I did like from Man City side was that Haaland goal. Like that was almost a
Oh,
Haaland from
love.
like Dortmund, like where you
Yeah,
just see like that pace.
yeah. Do you know what I said I remember texting you. I said Arsenal can't do that.
Mm, yeah, yeah.
Goal that Man City scored against Arsenal. I don't see Arsenal being able to score a goal like that. I don't feel
No,
like they
and
have it in the
no, and I think I replied back to you like we just look like we just want to walk it into the net. Um,
mm.
which yeah, cool. It looks good on the eye and it looks good on the highlights, but it's frustrating, mate. It is frustrating.
For you, as an Arsenal fan, would you rather have lost that game but started Eze and maybe a Martinelli at left wing,
Mm,
like Eze in the midfield with Zubimendi and Rice, and then Martinelli on the left,
mm,
but we might lose that game 2-1, and we go for it. We
yeah.
want to win the game. Hence, clear, like we're not happy with a draw. We're at home and we're here
Mm,
to win. Um,
yeah. I
would you be more happy with that type of mentality?
yeah, of course. But then obviously, points on the board are what's needed. So it's sort of like it's a difficult one to answer. As much as I would want that as a starting lineup, do I want to
Yeah.
sacrifice losing the game? Probably not. But
No.
um, it's a difficult one, mate. I just think this Man City team are probably the worst Man City team under Pep. Let's be probably brutally honest at the moment. That's not to say that they're a bad team, but under Pep, this is probably the worst team they've had.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you think about, Man City, they don't lose to Brighton. They don't, um, like they don't really drop points. So, and this is the best Arsenal team we've had in a very, very long time. So you'd like to think we'd just go for it, mate. Like obviously we beat them 5-1 at the Emirates last season. It's obviously
Yeah.
a new game. I'm not expecting a 5-1 win again, but we should have gone for it, mate. We really should have gone for it.
Should have. Yeah, and I think this is the first time. I think Arteta. I do think he will be the guy. But when I
Mm,
saw that lineup, I tried to stay positive before the game, and I thought, no, let's see how it goes.
Mm,
But I do feel like he missed an opportunity, especially when you saw Eze come on um, in that midfield, and he did look like he wanted to create something. He gave City something else to think about. He ended up, you know, actually playing the assist to Martinelli as well
mm,
for the equaliser. And I just felt that I wanted. I think Gary Neville said it. He said he wants Arteta to take the handbrake off,
mm.
and I do kind of want him to do the same because I think our defense is so good. We need to just trust who the players we got on the pitch and and go get some goals.
Yeah. No,
These big
I
games.
completely agree. Completely agree with you, mate. And obviously, it's still early doors. Like we're only 5 games in. Obviously, we're still
Yeah,
5 points behind Liverpool at the moment, but it's still early doors, and like it's a long season. It's not a marathon. It's not a sprint. It is a marathon. So hopefully, over
yeah,
the next few weeks, we can, we'll play better.
yeah. Of course, no, of course, 100%. And I think it was really important that equaliser. And
Mm.
we might look back in at the end of the season, and that equaliser might be
Yeah,
the league's won by the finest of margins, and
absolutely.
we'll have to assess it when it's all said and done.
Yeah,
This might be a
sure.
brilliant result in with hindsight.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that kind of ends the results of last weekend. I just wanted to touch on a few of the Champions League was back. It was a big segment in our last podcast.
It was.
We were both buzzing. It was great to have it back.
Hmm.
Arsenal obviously kicked it off as an early kickoff on Tuesday.
Yeah,
Um, they won 2-0 at the San Mamés
yeah.
against Bilbao. And that was a tough game for Arsenal. Bilbao came out like all guns blazing,
Mm,
and Arsenal had to weather an early storm. They seemed uncomfortable in that
mm,
game, and at one point it looked like it might be 0-0. And
yeah.
then Arteta made some substitutions, brought Trossard and Martinelli on, and that's all
Mm.
she wrote.
Yeah, and I think do you know what? One thing I do want to point out is, so I didn't know of this tradition before, that if you've not played at the San Mamés before, um you have to, like, you don't have to, I suppose, but it's courteous of you to bring flowers to put in front of the Pachichi statue. Um
Really?
yeah, yeah. Um, so apparently, like, he was obviously a Bilbao player, and he died quite young, etc. And obviously, the in La Liga, the Golden Boot is named the Pichichi. Uh,
Pachichi, yeah.
yeah, so I didn't realize, yeah, he was a player for them. But in terms of the game, obviously, yeah, a good 2-0 win. Martinelli came and saved our skin again. Um,
Mm-hmm.
twice in
He's had a
2
hell of a week, hasn't he?
He has indeed. After being sort of written off in pre-season and the first few games, yeah, he's sort of and do you know what? I think a lot of Arsenal fans probably wanted this from Martinelli. Like, I don't think they wanted him to go. They just,
We wanted to see a change in attitude, and we wanted to see because the
mm,
thing is, he's been a great player for us.
yeah,
That season when Arteta really had the first kind of title charge that Arsenal had.
mm,
Martinelli was brilliant,
yeah,
and he always showed up. He was never gave up, and in these 2 games we've seen a little bit of that old Martinelli, and maybe
mm,
he's realised that, look, if I'm not at my best anymore, there will be Madueke's there, Eze's there, and
mm,
if I don't fix up, I'm going to lose my place at this football club,
yeah,
and you know I think it's a testament to his attitude as well, because as I saw Arteta saying that he didn't sulk. He came on and
mm,
wanted to make a difference, and he certainly did that in two
yeah,
games for us.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And it's quite interesting to see that obviously there was so many Champions League. Obviously, we had Tuesday games, we had Wednesday games, and Thursday games. Obviously, we'll go for
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
few more of the results now, I guess. But what were some of the games that sort of stood out to you?
Definitely Juve, Borussia Dortmund. It was 4-4.
Yeah.
I think I think all the goals were in the second half as well. There was 8 goals
Mm.
in that second half, and then a last minute equaliser. Vlahovic scored in the 90 plus 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Kelly scored in the 90 plus 6 minutes. So they got 2 last gasp goals
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
the draw. That was a crazy game, to be fair.
Yeah. Absolutely. And obviously Lloyd Kelly, ex Bristol boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sounds obviously a bit weird in playing in Juventus, but yeah, equaliser for them, and probably a point shared for both, which is probably not bad for the first game.
Yeah.
And what other games were you looking
I
at?
think I think obviously you got the Liverpool Atletico game.
Mm.
I was super impressed by Barca against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Um, like I did, like my family lives in Barcelona, and my little
Mm.
brother's a Barca fanatic. And I said to him,
Mm.
I messaged him saying that you're in for a tough game at St James's Park
Yeah.
because as Arsenal fans, we know you can lose there, and they can
Yeah.
make it very difficult. And obviously, we know that the atmosphere. The commentators were saying this was probably the best atmosphere they'd felt in the whole week of the
Mm.
Champions League, and they'd been to quite a few games.
Mm.
And I thought Barca just handled it so well.
Yeah.
Um, they started well. Newcastle, Elanga had quite a few opportunities down the wing. He put
Mm.
some good crosses in, but couldn't finish their dinner. But then really it was the Marcus Rashford show, and
Yeah.
Pedri as well showed how bloody good he is, and
Yeah.
how they play foot. They just play football differently to over here. They just kept the ball, and I think was it 2-1 with a few minutes to go. I think did Newcastle get a goal back?
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. They did get a goal back. Yeah.
and yeah, they got a goal back quite late, Newcastle, and we thought, oh, the comeback's on. Yeah, Gordon scored in the 90th minute.
Yeah.
For the whole of added time, bro, Barca were just popping the ball about.
Mate, De Jong and Pedri were literally just popping it around, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just
mental.
popping it around. And you got to think, Newcastle were going to be trying to get that ball back, and they just couldn't get anywhere near Barca. And I just thought it was a joy to watch, really, that performance. And,
Mm.
I personally think it's a big statement, but I think Hansi Flick might be the best manager in the world right now as we speak. And I think he might have evolved football
Mm.
with this offside trap that no one else seems to be doing as well as Barca.
Yeah,
I'm super impressed by them.
yeah, yeah,
What
for
about
sure.
you? What were the standouts for you?
Um, Obviously, I was looking forward to the return of Kevin De Bruyne to the Etihad, or the Etihad.
Mm.
But obviously, circumstances sort of changed that when they went down to 10 men and he came off.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
a pretty routine win for Man City. Obviously,
yeah.
one of the biggest ones, and I watched this game over the Liverpool game. To be fair, was the Bayern Chelsea game.
Mm.
And I thought Palmer played really well, so he scored a good goal. But I think Bayern showed that they, I mean, Chelsea are, they're not the world. Well, I suppose they are the world champions, but they're not the best team, around. But they are a good team.
Yeah,
And Bayern sort of dispatched them, really, mate. Didn't really have too many issues.
yeah.
Obviously,
I
Harry
think it was
Kane with the
quite a
goals.
few. Yeah, they were just clinical, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
think
any
that was,
time Chelsea made a mistake, Bayern were there to capitalise. I don't
yeah.
think Chelsea played that badly.
No, no, they
I thought
didn't.
they actually did all right, but I just think it was just a clear Harry Kane as well, just showing why
Yeah.
he's one of the best strikers in the world, and you know what having a clinical striker can do for a team. Just
Mm.
puts you out of sight, really.
Yeah.
And I hope he does that for England this summer.
Yeah.
Um, I think we got to touch on it. Liverpool 2-0 up, Atletico come back,
Mm-hmm.
and Llorente scoring 2 goals at Anfield again. And it all looks
Yeah.
like it's going to be a draw, doesn't it? And then
Yeah, it does.
Virgil van Dijk with a bullet header, and to make it the fifth game in a row where Liverpool score a winner in added time.
Mm.
I couldn't quite believe it happened again, to be honest. But fair play to Liverpool, you know. Isak's debut as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so, I mean, probably not that surprised anymore, are we, to be honest, with Liverpool at the moment this season?
No, do you know? It was quite funny on X. Everyone was just like putting the minute that they were going to win the game on like 90 plus 54. One guy said. Um,
Well, I'm
which
sure
I
they would have
thought,
let the game run until they scored, so
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, trust. But yeah, it was good to have the champs back, and it feels like the season's in full flow now.
Yeah.
Um, we'll be covering it all the way. Um, all the big moments. We'll be talking
Mhm.
about them here on Far From the Truth. I
Yeah.
know that we were talking about Chelsea. We were texting about Chelsea, and I know you had something I know you wanted to say live on air. So
Yeah.
I'll let you.
So, just from what I've seen from the first few games, my statement is that Chelsea are not going to make it through the Champions League group stage. So they're going to be in that 25th to 36th, I think it is, that get eliminated straight away. And they're also going to finish outside of the top four this season. I just think, from what I've seen, a lot of people are sort of bigging them up, and like obviously they've won a couple of games at the start of the season, but the cracks they've shown over the last couple of games, they just, when they come up against like a better team, they just crumble, mate. They just absolutely
Mm.
crumble, and like their defense, mate. They spent £1 billion, and you've got Robert Sanchez in goal, Spain's number 5 keeper probably. Like David De Gea is getting in Spain's team before Robert Sanchez. Like you've got
How did they not
Tosin,
address that in the summer?
mate. Centre back, you've got Tosin Adarabioyo, um, Chalobah. Like obviously Colwell's out. Like mate, I'm
Um,
surprised they're not trying to like recall Disassi. Like mate, they're terrible in
yeah,
defence, mate. Absolutely
the
terrible.
the sassy, you know.
Yeah, trust. And
Oh
like Badashile and that. Like
yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But that
mm,
is a big, yeah, that's a big call from you. To be fair,
yeah,
and mate, I mean, we'll have to sing your praises if you're right. And it
absolutely.
doesn't look like. Do you know what? I, I don't. I'm not sitting here and thinking that's a terrible take
Mm,
because they've already lost their first game in the champs. That could easily. I don't know who they've got next, but
mm,
that could easily be like, they could easily go 0-2 there. And
yeah,
then on top of that, on top of that, their defense just looks shaky to me. I
mm,
think that's the issue. Their defense and the keeper.
yeah,
Attacking wise, they're great. Caicedo, great. Enzo Fernandez, still not sure on what. So I don't think people talk about Enzo Fernandez enough because he cost them 100 million. He's one of the most expensive players ever, and I don't really see him living up to the hype. If I'm completely honest, do you? I mean, we're talking about £100 million player here. That he won the World Cup, and when you're at that price tag, you've got to be a game changer. And I don't really see Enzo doing that. Is he a good midfielder? Yeah. Is he setting the world alight? Yeah. No. Which brings me on to something I want to say about a certain other £100 million player. I've seen him described as cardio man this season because the only stats Sky Sports can put on about him is how many miles he's run in a game because he's 0-6 now. And I just don't think Florian Wirtz is going to cut it in the Prem. Does he have the, does he have the eagerness and, want to do well? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's running about like there's no tomorrow, according to Sky Sports. But is he going to come good? I just don't see it. And the comparison that comes in my mind straight away is Anthony from Man United. Did really well in a less physical league, but just doesn't have the physicality or the mentality, I don't think, to make it. And I mean, he's not even shown us anything. So I do think that Florian Wirtz is going to be one of the worst signings, perhaps in Liverpool's history. But on that bombshell, that's all we got time for this week. Thank you for watching, as always. Thanks for all your support, and we'll be back next week. The studio's coming, obviously. Josh almost been arrested this week, doing the podcast in his car, but we keep moving, we keep recording, and thank you very much for watching. Peace.